This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me. First and foremost, before I start this lesson, I want to give our honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, or Ha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the hopeful elect that are out there diligently pushing his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, and the reason why I opened up with that precept is because, hey, we are those spiritual watchmen, okay, standing upon our tower, giving warning, all right, to our people of what's coming down the pike, all right, in terms of prophecy, things that's going on throughout the earth, okay. And this lesson was inspired by an article that I had come across. I actually had seen the video. It was a video surfacing on, I believe it's on Instagram that I saw it, where it was a Jake, and he was pretty much talking about the whole diddler, the whole P Diddy situation, and how everybody's eyes are focused over here, when on the right side, on the other side, there's a whole bunch of chaos going on. Okay, you're talking about Israel is in a full-out war on 5 different fronts. You're talking about the Houthis, Hezbollah, Hamas, Saudi Arabia, and now Iran, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so on 5 different fronts, you have Israel at all full-out war. Okay, and it's only going to draw in, okay, America, Babylon the Great. Okay, real quick, this is the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 45. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Okay, and he's drawing them out, you know, by the least of the flock. You know, he's talking about, you got Israel, Amalek, essentially Esau, okay, you know, causing this whole thing to go down. All right, now granted, it's all forewritten, foretold in the scriptures, okay, but the scripture prophesied that the least of them will draw them out, okay, and that's what we're witnessing right now over there in the Levant region, the Middle East, okay, and America is being sucked into this war, okay, which will eventually lead to a World War III, all right, the final war, all right. But while everybody's paying attention to P Diddy and all these CEOs and things of that nature, all right, people are being blinded and distracted, and it's our duty, it's our responsibility, all right, to shine light on these things, man, so you don't get caught up in the media and the witchcraft that they're putting out there, all right, but maintaining to be occupied in the prophecy, as the scriptures go into, meditating on the word, on the scriptures, on prophecies, things that are coming down the line in the very near future, right? This is real quick, I want to get Matthew 16 and verse 2. I start with verse 1. It says, the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. And he answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but you cannot discern the signs of the times. And that's what the majority of, our people fall under. They fall under the just being, not having the eyesight, not having the discernment, not having the the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai within them to be able to discern and to see the times that we're living in. Okay, so it says that they're able to. It says, "Oh, ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but you cannot discern the signs of the times." All right, they're paying attention to the election. Okay, it's paying attention to this whole Diddy situation. All right, Trump, Kamala, right? But are they paying attention to the economic state of America, let alone the entire world? Well, are they paying attention to that? The WEF, okay, the WHO or whatever is they're having a meeting in New York, okay, pretty much conspiring in ways to see where they're going to go next in terms of their agendas. Okay, now we through the Spirit of the Lord, we know what their agenda is. Okay, they talk about this 2030 agenda. All right, merging humanity with artificial intelligence and technology. Okay, trying to pump everybody up with all these different venom juices. Okay, to pretty much eliminate the mass majority of the population of the earth. Okay, these are the things that they're speaking on, right? But you got these regular Babylonians, okay, who's more focused on entertainment, who's more focused on sports, okay, who's more focused on their careers and their lives and things of that nature, that they're completely missing, the outcome of America. Okay, it's going to pass right over them. It's going to go right over their head. All right, so when all hell breaks loose, they're not going to know what to do. They're not going to they're going to be blindsided. Okay, and that's the worst way to try to navigate something is being blindsided, because now you're more reactive instead of being proactive. Which this whole time you could have been proactive in trying to get built up spiritually. Okay, build up your faith. Okay, that way when these things come, you're not just oblivious to it. You see? So let's go ahead and get this article. All right, this is from SHTFplan.com. Okay, and it says the biggest wild card in the presidential election, just days left until a crippling port strike paralyzes the East Coast. Okay, so this article was just released yesterday, but there's been a whole bunch of talk about how there's a union strike with the what are they called, longshoremen. All right, those who work over at the port of entries, okay, who work on do those cranes and maneuvering of those shipping containers and things of that nature, right? Well, there's a strike, okay, that could potentially on the 30th, right? I think it said the 30th, which they're considering it to a day known as D-Day. All right, now if you know anything about history, D-Day was the term that was used for the attack on was it Germany? Okay, in like the 1940s, World War II. Okay, well they're saying with just over a week to go until D-Day, authorities are gearing up as a threatened strike by dock workers at ports along the East Coast and Gulf Coast draws closer. Okay, so this event could essentially cripple the entire transportation of goods, of supplies, of food, things of that nature, which could result in hyperinflation. All right, and to where then Revelation the 6th chapter will pretty much be made manifest. Right, let's real quick, let me get that. Revelation chapter 6 and verse looking at the wrong chapter. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 5. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see that hurt not the oil and the wine. Okay? So that's essentially, a day's wages, okay, is what it's going to cost for a measure of wheat, a measure of barley, which is, like your bread, your essentials, your eggs, your things that we would use today, okay, for basic food supplies, right? A day's wages. At one point, there was, it had gotten so bad that even, I think it was like a steak or something that I saw. Someone posted it online, and just a regular steak, or was it a brisket or something? It was something, some kind of poultry or meat or beef or something, and it was like $200. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't even all that big, because usually a steak, nowadays you get a steak, get 2 of them for like, anywhere from $20 to $30. At least out here in California, and that's expensive. All right, unless you go to like a local butcher or something like that. But if you get like a brisket of some sort, at one point it was up to like $200. Now, granted, it could have been a hoax, it could have been something, but the point of the matter is that it's not impossible. All right, and that's the times that we're coming into. All right, look what happened during the Great Depression, man. A lot of people was let off from their jobs. Okay. Prices was more than what people could afford. Now we look at it now and it was cheap, but back then they couldn't afford those things. So you had a lot of people that was struggling, all right, trying to find work, trying to support their families. Well, this next go round is going to be 10 times worse, man. Okay, we got a lot more people in the earth. We got a lot more violence in the earth. Scriptures go into how the love of many shall wax cold. So what's going to happen when people don't have the supplies that they need? Okay, they're gonna go get up in these little groups, be a part of some little clan or gang or whatever, and then they're gonna start just migrating to different locations and just taking over people's homes, taking over their goods, spoiling their stuff, their goods, and things of that nature. The scriptures go into that, man. Okay, so everything that we're seeing and we're speculating through the Spirit, man, are things that have been written in the scriptures. All right, and it's coming to pass. Okay, it says, verse 7, and when he had opened the 4th seal, I heard a voice of the 4th beast, Come and see, and look, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed him, and power was given unto them over the 4th part of the earth to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth. You see, so one of the main culprits there was hunger, man, because it's going to be, it's that with this whole strike and the ability to transport, food and things that we need essentially to survive. Okay, it's going to be a shortage of it. Now, a shortage of the access to it, should I say, because there isn't a shortage of food per se, but there is going to be a shortage of being able to gain access to these things, because what we're so accustomed to doing is going to these grocery stores, all right, and and everything just being everything just being readily available and displayed on the shelves. Okay, but what's going to happen when the shelves are wiped clean, man? We saw a very small glimpse of that during the C-19 Plan D. All right, I think it goes into that a little bit on this article, so we're gonna keep reading. It says, according to the union, a strike would affect ports from Maine to Texas and cripple supply chains worse than the immediate aftermath of the C-19 shutdown. It says a stoppage, the first since 1977, could involve up to 45,000 workers at ports that account for roughly 60% of the U.S. shipping traffic, leading to a major disruption of shipment, Oxford Economics said in his reports. Even a 2-week strike could disrupt supply chains until 2025. Now, what does it say about you know, the upcoming election. Okay, this could affect the election as a whole. All right. Imagine if this were to go down. Mind you, this is within the next what 30 something days, 40 days, right? Of when this election is supposed to go down. You know, there might not even be one, man. Okay? I saw another video, and I can't tell you where I saw it or if I could even find it again, but they were pretty much it was a video conference, or not a video conference, but it looked like they appeared to be over there in Washington D.C. All right, these politicians and these lawmakers, and they were at a panel, and they were talking about how the translation of you know, not in these words, but from a presidency to pretty much giving the control over to the I think it's either the WHO or the WEF, whichever one. Okay, but pretty much giving the power over to, you know, these globalists. You see, so we may not even see an election come November 5th, man. Right? But that's all, you know. That's all, you know. Hearsay. We'll see when it happens. All right. Let's jump down a bit. It says there will be a shutdown, assuming that there is no intervention, at midnight on Monday the 30th, right? So there could be a shutdown as soon as the 30th, which is in the next 6 days at midnight, right? So it says, should that occur, all activity loading and uploading cargo, containers, and automobiles will come to a standstill while cruise ships will continue to operate. The Port Authority isn't involved in the bargaining between ILA and USMX, but rather leases spaces at ports to shipping companies. It says 2 ports are currently uploading about 20 large container ships a week, and they expect 150,000 containers to be unloaded ahead of the strike deadline. At the same time, ocean carriers are being put essentially embargoes on export cargo so that it doesn't come onto the East and Gulf Coast ports and then wind up sitting there. Yep, it says the union is demanding sizable wage increases for its members, as well as protection from job-killing automation. So pretty much they're upset at their pay. All right, they're not getting enough of their wages, right? They're getting ripped off. It says while the Taft-Hartley Act gives the president the power to impose an 80-day cooling off period to delay a strike, Biden has said he doesn't intend to use it here, given the impact doing so could have on union votes. Although with the Teamsters refusing to endorse Kamala despite the union's traditional Democratic support, as the majority of its members polled back Trump, that may be a moot point. I'm not sure what that means, but I mean, you kind of get the idea. All right. So, and because the reason why these workers, these union workers, aren't getting the their pay that they're expecting is because the cost of shipping containers has increased just from, so in 2021, right, it reached the all-time high. Okay, and then come 2022 it started to fall. I mean, you can kind of see it right there. So this is when in 2021 when it started to go up, 2022 when it started to come back down, right? So now as we've entered 2024 and approaching 2025, is only anticipated to spike up, right? Reaching a new all-time high. Okay, so with that being said, they have to let a lot of people go, and they're not having it. Okay, which is going to cause this strike, which essentially could bring a lot of detriment to not only America but to the entire world. All right, so I want to bring out another scripture. okay? Because this is what the Lord is bringing unto Babylon the Great. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse. I'm gonna start at verse 8 and then jump around. It says, "The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?" So it's the Lord, okay? It's Yahweh Shema Shai who's causing these plagues to take place, man. Okay, people getting riled up, all right? People getting upset, people feeling like as though they're being mistreated, okay? Not being paid enough, all right? Not being appreciated for their hard work and their labor. You see what happened, and it didn't happen, but and brothers was doing lessons and videos on it as well. But with the whole trucker situation, okay, they've been standoffs and boycotts for truckers too, okay. But this now we're talking about because the truckers will virtually just impact North America. All right, but the port of entry, the ports with these supplies and things of that nature, that doesn't just affect America, but that has an effect on the entire world, because now you can't trade, all right, with other foreign countries and things like that, all right, especially in a timely manner, all right. They're saying that it could be delays as far forward as 2025, sometime in 2025. All right, and that's only going to cause more strife, more tension, all right, more discomfort here in America. We jump down to verse 14. It says, "Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth." All right, so these plagues are being sent out, man. Okay, and they're just going to continue to play out and play out and play out until it's fulfilled. All right, the Lord sent them out, man. Okay. The Lord sent these plagues out, and until everything is fulfilled, hey, it's just going to keep circulating. It's just going to keep circulating. Just think about everything just being confined, right? All the Lord's judgments, all right, just being thrown in the earth, okay, and all being confined within the earth, and they can't escape it until they're fulfilled. That's how things are going to just implode and just gradually just get worse. All right, and that's what we're going to see to be known as Jacob's trouble. It says, verse 15, "The fire is kindled and shall not be put out until it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?" So even Ezra's had noticed that these were some trying times that he had envisioned, okay? And Ezra's is back here today, and we're seeing these things through what's written, right? But soon enough, we're about to physically see these things actually play out on the earth, okay? And even Ezra's was scared in his flesh. It says, "In the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, and the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come?" Okay. Now these are all things that we're seeing: the famine, great death, wars. The powers are standing in fear, and how do we know that the powers are in fear right now? Is because look at what they're trying to do. Look at what they're trying to enforce. They're talking about a monkey, the monkey ox, okay? You know what I'm trying to say. But they're talking about trying to get everybody juiced up on that. There's a multitude of different pestilences that they're releasing into the earth, and then having a quote unquote solution to them, right? Which we can't trust Esau for their medication and for things of that nature. That's why the Lord gave us the herbs and the herbs of the field, the natural resources that grow here on the earth. Okay, vegetables, fruit, herbs, teas, tinctures, things of that nature, right? To heal and to nourish our bodies. Okay. The way to get rid of It starts with a C and ends with answer. Okay? The way to get rid of that is through what? Is to fast, to detox your body, and to fill your body up with the nutrients from the earth. Okay? And stop feeding your bad blood cells with this toxic food that's feeding into the answer. Okay? That starts with a C. All right? But anyways, verse 19, it says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation, anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. And what does it mean for an amendment? Amendment means to change or to adjust. Okay? And these things were to people to change their ways of thinking, adjust their lifestyles, their behaviors, their conduct. Right? What it says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. You see, so you have rebelliousness, and what is that? 1 Samuel, the 15th chapter, where it goes into rebelliousness is as the sin of witchcraft. Okay, loosely paraphrasing. You know, so now there is a witchcraft spirit, a witch and warlock spirit in the earth because of the rebelliousness. Okay, and not wanting to listen to and take heed to the words of Yahweh Shem Shai. Scriptures also go to thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Okay, something along those lines. So what does that mean? What is the outcome? What is the result of a rebellious person? Death and destruction. Right? It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. Right? Because for a moment in time, things had kind of leveled out. Okay? Things went up, things kind of came back down, and it's still high. Don't get me wrong, it's still high, but it kind of leveled out to where people, okay, we're okay right now. At least that's what people believe. All right. But it says that even then the evil shall come and grow upon the earth. All right. So it's going to grow. It's going to get worse. It's going to cause confusion. Why are things so expensive? Right? Why is there a draft coming? You see? Why is the government sending my 18-year-old child, male, your 17-year-old child, male, talking about you need to sign up for a draft? Or why is why can't I afford to I'm working all these hours, why can't I afford to put food in my family's fridge? You know, why am I struggling to afford my mortgage or my rent? I can't pay my car note. My car got repoed. These are things that people are going to be like, what the hell is going on? Right? People are going to be in a great confused state of mind. Okay? Because they're not seeing how everything was stacking up and how everything was laid out. Okay? Because they weren't occupied in prophecy. All right? They weren't taking heed to the scriptures, and they weren't praying to Yahweh Shem Shai. Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. Right? So many of them shall die for perish of a famine. So, hey, it's going to be a great famine in the earth. Right? Scriptures, there was an account with Elijah in 1 Kings, around the 17th chapter. 1 Kings 17. Let me see. I thought it was 7. Here we go. Yep. Salakia. This is with Elisha. It's 2 Kings 6 and verse 25. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it, until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. So 80 pieces of silver. All right. And when when you actually do the math, all right, now granted, inflation is a thing, okay, but you know, silver then equated it to something different then, but today silver, let's look it up. All right, because I used to be in stocks and things of that nature, and so right now it actually went up, but it's actually going up. Silver is now at $32, right? So 4 score. So what's that? So 32.50, and so let's do 32.50 times 80. You're looking at $2,600 worth of silver, right? So if this was today's time, right? It says until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver, and the 4th part of a cab of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. Okay, so let's see. So a 4th part of a cab of dove's dung. All right, so 32.50 times 5. You're looking at $162.50 for some dove shit. Excuse my French. You see, that's you talk about a famine, man. $2,600 for the meat of a donkey's head. $2,600. Yeah. It says, verse 26. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord did not help thee, when shall I help thee? You know, so in other words, hey, that's how the men of the Lord are going to be in that day, man. You know, you get them quiches, them bonquishes, and fucking, you know, them women that did you dirty. You know, hey, you know, they're gonna be reaching out for you. You know, asking for your help. You're gonna be like, well, hey, if the Lord ain't gonna help you, what makes you think I will? And that's what this king was on. You know, it says, out of the barn floor or out of the winepress. And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son, and we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son, that we may eat him. And she had hid her son. And it came to pass, when the king heard the words of the woman, that he rent his clothes, and he passed by upon the wall, and the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh. You know, so it was such a famine that you had women that were eating their children, eating their babies, their sons. You know, that's how bad it's going to be out here. Cannibalism is going to make a return. Right? This is Isaiah chapter, I think it's 49. Isaiah chapter 49 and 26. And I will feed them that oppress thee with their own flesh, and they shall be drunken with their own blood as sweet wine, and all the flesh shall know that I am the Lord, am thy Savior, and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. You see? Let's get another one. Isaiah the 9th chapter and verse 19, and it reads, Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. And he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry. He shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. You see? You should eat the flesh of his own arm. Okay? Let's get one more. I want to say it's Second Edges. Bear with me. 15? Yeah, 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 57. For thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. The city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field, that they may be in the mount. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and thirst of water. You see, so for the very thirst of water and for the food, all right, people are going to be eating on themselves, man. Okay, that's how bad it's really going to be out here, man. But what we cleave unto is this, is this spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, having faith, trusting us. Isaiah the 65th chapter, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. My servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Right? This is Sirach chapter 15, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 15 and verse 3. And it says, with the bread of understanding shall she feed him. Okay? The bread of understanding, and it says, and give him the water of wisdom to drink. Okay? So having this word, this truth, this knowledge, wisdom, understanding is all we need. Okay? In the names of Yahweh Shem Shai, and faith is what we need to sustain ourselves, man. Or not to sustain ourselves, but to ask the Lord to sustain us. Okay? That's why it's so important to recite the Lord's Prayer. Okay? On a daily basis. Abanawa Yahweh Shabbat Shemayim Kudash Hayashim Ka Yahweh Malak Wafka Tabak Ratazaka Haya Aisha Baratazaka Wa Haya Bashemayim Natham Lanao Lakam, call you one, so on and so forth. Right? Now I encourage brothers to learn it, because it hey, it's for one, it's good practice. Okay? But to say the Lord's prayers it's all inclusive. It's everything that we need. It's everything that we need. Let me just read it real quick in the scripture. Matthew 6th chapter and verse 9. Verse 8. Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things you have need of before ye ask him. After this manner therefore pray ye, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Right? Give us this day our daily bread. Okay? Now that's speaking first and foremost spiritual bread. Okay? What did we read? The bread of understanding, Ecclesiasticus 15 and 3. And the water is that wisdom to drink, which ultimately is Yahweh Shai. He's the bread and he's the water. All right? Living water. It says, verse 12, and forgive us of our debts as we forget our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine kingdom is for thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Okay, so that was pretty much it for this lesson. Okay, Lord willing, it was an edifying one. So with that, I want to give all honor, praise, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruchak Radash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace, blessing, and salutations to hopeful elect. And until next time, Shalom.